Let's see the next concept, object parameterized constructor and constructors. So object parameterized constructor, object parameterized constructor. So an object parameterized constructor is one, it will take object as a parameter. Okay. So let me see the syntax of this one. Syntax. Syntax. Okay. Syntax of this object parameterized constructor. So class name, and open the braces. And here we have constructor, class name, and it will be taking the object name, another class name as a parameter. Class name, object name. Okay. So an object parameterized constructor is one. It will be taking the object as a parameter. Object as a parameter. So let's see some examples on this object parameterized constructor. Okay. I'll use the employee class and I'll create the object parameterized constructor. So let's see, let's go to the IntelliJ. Let's use the employee. And this guy. Okay, we haven't created this one, right? So let's create an employee class. Otherwise, let's use the product. Okay. So here we have, even for this also, we have to create a constructor again. So let's use the bike one again. So I'll be using the bike class. I'll be creating the object parameterized constructor. So here we have in bike class, we have created the default constructor. We have created the parameterized constructor as well. Let's create the object parameterized constructor. So constructor should be similar to the class name. What is our class name? Bike is our class name. So let's give the bike, and the constructor will take the object as a parameter. So let me give bike here again, and I'll be giving the object name as bike only. And this is a public, should be accessible by the other classes as well. So now what I'll do is I don't need to set the values for, okay, constructor. I don't need to set the values for the I need to set the values of the set the values of my actual parameters from this bike class. Okay. So let's see. I'll do one thing. I'll say this dot engine cc equals to bike dot engine cc. First, it would be a name, right? So this dot bike name equals to should be what is that? Bike dot bike name. Okay. Let's say I'm just reading these two only, bike name and bike cc. Okay. So now what I'll do is I'll go to the product class. So not product class, I'll go to the bike client application. In bike client application, we have two objects are created. What I'll do is I'll create one more object, bike 2 goes to new bike. This constructor, it will be taking the object as a parameter. I'll pass the bike one as a parameter. Okay. So whatever the bike object is having the details of bike name and the engine cc, it will be accessible by the bike 2 object as well. So let's go. Let's see this one. Let's go to the bike object parameterized constructor. Let's do one thing. Let's print this dot bike name, and let's print this dot engine cc. Okay. Or we can directly use bike name, or no problem. You can use this, or you can use directly bike name and the engine cc, no problem in it. Okay, now let's go here. So why I am using the object parameterized constructor in future, in some of your requirements, the people will say that you have already an existing data and you want to create a constructor and you want to copy the values of this object to the bike2, which is nothing but you have bike2 object which is pointing out to bike1. So what bike1 object is having, what bike1 object data we are having, the same data it will be there in the bike2 also. This data would be having by the bike1 the same data when bike2 is pointing to the bike1, so the same data will be halved by the bike2 as well. Okay, so let's run this one. I'll comment this and here I'll run this one. So let's run as a Java application. Now let's see what output we will be getting it. See, I'm inside to parameterized constructor. Twice it is printing it. First, this one it is executing it. Okay. Now, after that, we are creating one more object and we have given the bike2 as the object name. And this bike constructor is taking the bike1 object. Okay. So whatever it is there in the bike1, it will be reflecting. It will be saved to the bike2 as well. See, the same thing we are doing over here. Huh? Got it right? So it is like a copy constructor. We used to say that. Some people used to call it as a copy constructor. I used to call it as a object parameterized constructor. Okay. Yeah. That's all about the constructors. We have seen what constructor is, what is the different types of constructor, and we have seen in types we have seen default constructor, we have seen parameterized constructor, and we have seen object parameterized constructor. So these are the different types of constructor we have seen. Okay, so that's all about the constructors topic. So in later sessions we will be seeing the oops concepts. Okay, until then, thank you.